Assalamu alaikum. I've been given this very difficult topic by Dr. Saab, and I'm a very weak and unworthy person, but I'll try to give some aspects of the Holy Quran and how it can be used as a tool for scientists, and I'll give a very unique example in my own research. So the promised Messiah ﷺ has said, "It is my faith that the Holy Quran is perfect in its teaching and that there is no verity that has been left out of it. As Allah the Glorious has said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ تِبْيَانًا لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ." We have sent down to thee the book which is an exposition of everything. And then again, مَا فَرَّطْنَا فِي الْكِتَابِ مِنْ شَيْءٍ. We have not left out anything from this book. It means Quran has everything in it. We just have to look for it. And Huzur has also been mentioning this, that all new scientific discoveries are mentioned in the Holy Quran. And if Muslim scientists ponder over this, over the Holy Quran, and undertake their research using the vast ocean of knowledge that is contained therein, then the majority of new research can be undertaken under the guidance given in the Holy Quran. So that is our key. Use the Holy Quran for research. So this is what we want. Not that we do research and say, okay, we found this in research, now let's look at the Holy Quran. But we use the Holy Quran and then seek what research we need to be doing. Okay. It's a bit slow. One second. To interpret the Holy Quran, there are 7 criteria that the Prophet ﷺ gave, and these are the tools that we will be using. So I'll describe these tools, and I will just give an example of some of those tools that can be used. So in the blessings of prayer, Barakat al-Dua, the Prophet ﷺ gave these 7 criteria, that any verse of the Holy Quran, any verity in the Holy Quran should be supported by many verses. You don't need external evidence for it. Internally, it should be consistent. Then the interpretation of Holy Prophet ﷺ, if it exists, that should be accepted without reservation. Then the Prophet ﷺ also said the interpretation of companions of the Holy Prophet ﷺ is also important because they were the closest to the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Then the Prophet ﷺ said that the Holy Quran itself says that none can penetrate its meaning except the purified. So if you are purified of heart, the Quran will open for you. If you approach the Quran with a very sinister attitude, or somebody who wants to find flaws in it, you will find flaws in it. But if you want to find verities in it, it will open itself for you. And then also that lexicon or dictionary, Arabic dictionary, can be very, very useful. And you can find some interesting points in that. Then this 6th point is very important. The Prophet ﷺ says that there is complete harmony between the spiritual order and the physical order. And this is very interesting. I was thinking about this a lot. Any verse of the Holy Quran, no matter how spiritual it seems, no matter it appears to be totally spiritual, would have some meaning on the physical order or the physical universe. This is something to think about. And the revelations granted to saints and visions of the Muhaddiseen, meaning godly people are given revelation and explanations of the Holy Quran. So that includes all godly people, the Prophet ﷺ himself, the Khulafa, and everybody who has interpreted by guidance of the of Allah Ta'ala. So now I'll give an example. So I was looking at the Holy Quran, and I said, so coronavirus is now a big issue now. It's a big outbreak with 96,000 cases and 3,000 deaths in 86 countries, and most people come down with fever, dry cough. And the death rate is around 3%. And we are very worried. Now let's see if the Holy Quran gives any guidance on epidemics. Does it? Can we put Quran to the test here? Let us see. The Prophet ﷺ has said that when I looked at the Holy Quran, keeping in mind the books that dealt with physical medicine, I discovered that the Holy Quran sets out in an excellent manner the principles of physical medicine. It means the Holy Quran does include verities or principles of physical medicine. We just have to look for them deeply. So yesterday in Huzur's sermon, Huzur gave instructions including hygiene. And the government is also telling us to clean, wash our hands. The Holy Quran gives that in multiple verses. So just one verse is, Allah loves those who turn to Him and loves those who keep themselves clean. It means spiritual purity, but also physical purity. But interestingly, the Prophet ﷺ said, it is the fact that names given by Allah to things signify their properties. So I was wondering about this and said, and thinking, is there any named remedy given in the Holy Quran which signifies something that can counteract epidemics? There is, actually. The Holy Quran says, Innal abrara yashrabuna min kasib kana mizajuha kafura. But the virtuous drink of a cup tempered with camphor. What is camphor? That's interesting. So let's see. And what does camphor actually means? And what does kafur mean? So we'll go to dictionary first. So kafur in the short commentary says, kafur is derived from kafara, which means to cover or to suppress. And kafara means he veiled, covered the thing, or he covered thing as to destroy it. And camphor, if you look down the yellow highlight, camphor because it has the quality of covering of subsiding heat. So it covers things. So any filth, infectious matter, it covers or protects against it. The Prophet ﷺ said the root of the Arabic word for camphor connotes suppression or covering up, which is the same thing as we looked at the dictionary. But also, camphor is actually a substance. And Prophet ﷺ said, Muslims apply camphor to the bodies of the dead in accordance with the custom of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, because camphor is a material which kills epidemic organisms, which includes bacteria and viruses, and noxious elements. It cools the human body and prevents the spread of diseases that arise from filth or uncleanliness. Prophet ﷺ, it kills epidemic organisms. Very interesting. And the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ was referring to was when Holy Prophet ﷺ's daughter died, he gave instructions for washing of the body, but also to apply camphor or kafur, so it can be protected. So kafur actually protects against these epidemic bacteria and viruses. So what is camphor? Camphor comes from a tree called Camphor laurel. It's a tree found in Asia, and those from Pakistan would know of camphor balls, or the moth balls that we used to protect any place from bugs or insects. And camphoric liquid was used a long time for infections. And I was looking at its history. It's very interesting that there is recorded use of camphor in many, many epidemics. So I searched into the history of the Russian influenza of 1831, the Asiatic cholera of 1826 to 1837, which was probably the largest killer of people in that century, the Indian plague of 1898, and the Spanish influenza of 1918. Camphor was actually used at that time to protect people, but used in very, very small quantities, or even by smelling. You can just smell camphor, and that actually protects you somehow. There's a lot of detail here, but I don't have time to explain this. But there are historical accounts of doctors using camphor to protect against epidemic bacteria and viruses. The Prophet ﷺ in 1898, when the plague arrived in India, Prophet ﷺ was very worried about the people of India, and he actually gave a lot of instructions regarding how to protect yourself, cleanliness and everything. But Prophet ﷺ focused a lot on camphor, the use of camphor. The Prophet ﷺ said, modern research has also established that just as camphor is beneficial in cholera, it is beneficial in the case of the plague as well. I would like to inform my community that this is an extremely beneficial substance. However, we don't see camphor anymore. Where is it? Does any doctor use camphor? No. Is it on the US formulary? No. Why? Because camphor, even in moderate quantities, can be a poison. It is very dangerous in any small quantities. It can depress respiratory systems, and people can end up in ICU. It's lethal in high doses. And there have been many accidental overdoses. So that's why it was considered not generally recognized as safe by the FDA and removed as a drug from the US formulary in 1982. It was for a century, almost a half a century on the US drugs formulary, but it was then removed. So where can we find camphor now? Can it be used for influenza, for the coronavirus? If it's not available, what do we do? However, Allah Ta'ala also has a way of keeping those things that are beneficial for us remain here. So it says 2 minutes. I'll be finished in 2 minutes. This is the very famous picture of the 1918 influenza. At that time, a form of camphor was needed which was very safe to use. And a company called Mentholatum, another company called Vicks, came up with a camphor product, Vicks VapoRub. Vicks VapoRub is the only product available right now that has camphor in it. The primary component of Vicks VapoRub is camphor. It has less than 5% 4.72% camphor, and it is available, and it is allowed by the use formulary, and it's over the counter. And in 1918 epidemic, there are recorded reports of people applying camphor on their chest, on their throat, on their back, so the vapors themselves will protect you against influenza epidemic. At that epidemic, every fourth American actually got infected, and 500,000 people died. The whole cities were just deserted at that time. And there have been reports that camphor was quite protective, and many people who used it did not get influenza. Or actually, if they got it, it was very mild. Now, I'm not saying that this is the cure. I'm saying that studies need to be done. And look at this, camphor is in it. See the active ingredient, camphor. So Quran has already given us a named remedy that we can now test. Now, it is our job to research on camphor, do clinical studies on camphor. Can it be used to stop epidemic infections? Can it be used to stop the spread of any kind of diseases that can be infectious diseases that are rampant right now? And if you do it, maybe there's a Nobel Prize here. So in the end, I'll finish by saying that the Holy Quran says, وَكَلِمَةُ اللَّهِ هِيَ الْأُلْيَا, that it is the word of Allah alone which will prevail. Jazakallah.